Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Om Gananaham Tva Ganapati Gumhavamahe Kavim Kavinam Upamashravastamam Jektarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspadanash Chinmanudivisi Dasadanam. Om Shri Mahaganapatahe Namaha. Tutismuti Puranana Malayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpada Shankaram Lokashankaram Sadashivasamarambam Shankara Acharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Parjanta Vande Shri Guru Paramparam Om Shri Shankaracharya Swamine Namaha. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahavirjam Karavavahai Tejasvinavati Tamastu Ma Vitvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
Namaste Mahodaya. Sharada Rajan Bagini.
Lelihasye grahasma. Sir, sorry, can you please tell me? I've forgotten the tune. I'm getting confused.
Lelihyase grasamanah samantat lokan samagran vadanejvaladbihi tejobirapurya jagat samagram vasastavograh pratapanti Vishnu.
Thank you, sir. Lelihyase grasamanas samantat lokan samagran vadanayajvaladbihi tejobhirapurya jagat samagram bhasatvograh pratapanti Vishnu.
Good.
Anupama Bagini.
आख्याहि मे को भवग्ररूपः नमोऽस्तु ते देववर प्रसीद विज्ञातुमिच्छामि भवन्तमाद्यं न हि प्रजानामि तव प्रवृत्तिम्.
Good.
Rajeshwari Shivashankar Bagini.
Namaste, sir.
Namaste.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Kalosmi Lokakshaya Krit Pravruddhaha Lokan Samahartumiha Pravruttaha Rite Piktvan Bhavishyanti Sarve Yeva Sthitah Prayatyanikeshu Yodhaha.
Prati Anikeshu. Anike means the two sides of the war, no? Two warring factors were formed. Prati Anikeshu. Pratyanikeshu.
Rite Pitvana Bhavishyanti Sarve Yeva Stitah Pratyanikeshu Yodhaha.
Evastita Pratyanikeshu Yodhaha.
Yevastita Pratyanikeshu Yodhaha.
Pratyanikeshu Yodhaha.
Pratyanikeshu Yevastita Pratyanikeshu Yodhaha.
Good. Next.
Srimati Bagini.
Namaste Mahodaya.
Namaste.
Tasmatvamutishta yasho labhasva jitva shatrun bhungshva rajyam samruddham mayaivaite nihatah purvameva nimitta matram bhava savyasachin.
Good.
K. Lalita Bagini. Lalita Bagini.
Yes, Bhagini. I was just trying to connect it. Namaste, sir. Namaste. Dronang cha bhishmang cha jayadradhang cha karnan tadha jnanapi yodha viran maya hatam swang jahima vyadhishtaha Yodhyasva jetasi rane sapatnan.
Okay, good. So before we go to the new sloka for today, if you look at what Bhagavan has been telling, first thing in the sloka 32 is that I am the principle of time. Kala asmi. I am here. He asks, who are you and what are your actions? So Bhagavan says, I am Kala. I am the person who is Kala, and I am here to ensure the destruction of everybody. Okay. And Rutepi Tvam na bhavishad, even if you are not there, Arjuna, Evastitaha, those people who are assembled here, Pratya Anike, Pati Anikeshu, from both the sides of the warring factors, Yodaha, all these people, I am going to destroy them. Whether you are going to be participating in the war or not, it is immaterial for me. I am now in a destructive mood of destroying everybody. That's what he said. Then he said, hence, tasmat uttishta, please get up. Yasholabasva, you try to gain fame. Jitva shatrun, win over your opponents. Bhungshva rajyam samruddham, you try to enjoy the prosperous kingdom. Maya eva ete, by me, these people, nihataha purvameva, I have already killed them earlier itself. Nimitta matram bhava, you just be an instrument in this war. You don't have to do anything, you are just going to shoot the arrow. Savyasachin means the person who can handle the arrows on both the hands. The nimitta matram is something that has got to be discussed slightly in detail, because I find that many people, including Adi Shankaracharya, have passed here because they didn't want to have people having a confusion in terms of what it is supposed to be. Okay. Then he says, Dronanja, Bhishmancha, Jayatradajamcha, Karnam, Tatan, Anyani Yodaviran, Maya Hataha. So I have already killed Drona, Bhishma, Jayatradam, Karnam, and also other warriors. Maya Hata. Tvam Jahi, Ma Vyatishtaha. Do not hesitate. You start hitting them. Yudhyasva Jetasi. You try to win in the war. Rane Sapatnan. In this particular place where everybody is assembled. So in this particular case, he says that I have done everything, Arjuna. Nimitta matram bhava. He said that you are just an instrument. Everything has been taken care by me. That's what Bhagavan has said. So this can perhaps lead to a lot of confusion in all of us, telling that we are all born in this world. Bhagavan is only doing everything, and everything will take place as per his desire. What are we? That kind of question comes from the minds of everybody, and that has got to be properly clarified. So I would like to slightly change over to some other small presentation deck, which I thought I'll have to share with you to make this one understand. You all should understand this very clearly. Otherwise, there could be some confusion in terms of our own attitude towards life. Okay, so I'll stop this and then share something. Whatever I am now presenting is based on the lecture given by Swami Paramarthananda on Bhagavad Gita chapter 11, and based on what he has understood from Shankaracharya's analysis of this particular Nimitta Matram Bhava. So I thought it is a very interesting thing that all of us should go through. Maybe we'll spend 10 minutes on this before we proceed for the new slokas for this class. You are seeing something else now?
Yes, Mahodaya.
So this was a Shloka 33. Tasmatma Muttitta Yasho Labasva Jitva Shatrun Bhungshva Rajyam Samruddham Maya Eva Ete Nihataha Purvaveha Nimitta Matram Bhava Savyasachin. That's what he told Arjuna. Okay. You be only an instrument. So if you look at this particular Shloka, I just hold on. Shloka, two ideas are being conveyed. One is everything is predetermined by Bhagavan. Okay. Nimitta Matram Bhava means Bhagavan seems to be telling you only be an instrument in my hands. Don't do anything. You just be an instrument in my hands. Okay. Then, sorry, something is funny. Bhagavan seems to be saying, you are all puppets in my hand, and I am in total control. That is the kind of understanding we get because of this particular statement that has come, right? So, there is, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, Mahodaya.
I don't know, there's something very funny happening in my screen. Okay. Okay. So now there are different kinds of absurdities in that. Okay. First thing is God is doing everything. We're all only instruments. That is the kind of meaning most of us will get by looking at this statement of Bhagavan. Then God is a Karta and we're all Karana. Karana means we're all instruments. God is the only Karta who is doing everything. Right? That is what we will understand. But God is only doing everything. I am just a Karta. So Karma Palam will go only to Karta. So hence all the papas and punyas will only go to God, not to us, because we are only instruments in the hand of God. We are not having nothing to do with that particular thing. We are just an instrument in the hands of God. So karma palam goes to Karta, which is God. Then all actions, if you look at that way in the world, you got a World Trade Center attack took place, Mumbai terror took place, Kashmir Pandits were all thrown out, terrorism is happening all over, murders are happening, stealing is happening, all these things are happening. It's all not because of us, it's all because of God's action. That is one of the things that we all may conclude, right? So, who is the person who is going to, we all know that anybody getting papa and punya is a samsari. Okay. Now, God is getting all the papas and punyas of everybody in the whole creation, of every human beings, papa and punya will now, as per this, go to Bhagavan. If that is the case, God is becoming a Maha Samsari, right? So Maha Samsari means Ishwarasya Samsaritvam is one of the absurdities that will come to you. This is one of the problems that we'll have. Ishvara is a biggest samsari, which is an absurd statement, right? When we just understand Nimitta Matram means you are only instrument and I am the one who is doing everything. And if you are going to understand in this particular context what I was shown, it means that Ishvara is a Maha Samsari and all the papas and punyas go to him, which is an absurd statement. Hypothetically, it is a wrong statement, which you all can think about it, because actions like World Trade Center attack, Bombay attack, all these things is all God's creation or man's creation. We may have to understand that. So this is an absurdity. That's the first absurdity. The second absurdity is that, for example, a car accident takes place or stabbing of somebody is taking place with a knife. No, responsibility is only with the karta. We don't arrest the car. We only arrest the driver of the car. Okay. So the instrument is not responsible for the action. The karta behind the instrument is the one who is responsible for the action. Okay. Now all the papas and punyas, as per we have seen, will all go to the God only, because we are only instruments. Then what happens is that all of us are having freedom from papa and punya. So all the people like us, we don't have any kind of papas and punya. Whatever is being done is done by God. So we are all free. So we are all now ready for moksha. We have got no papam and no punyam. Freedom is there. We are ready for moksha. So hence all the jivas are free and liberated. Right? That is the another kind of understanding, another kind of absurdity that we have in this particular thing. So no need for attending the Vedantic class. Why do we attend the Vedantic class? To attain moksha. Now there's no need, because everything is going to the God and all the papas and punyas are belonging to God. We are absolutely free people. So we are already liberated people. So this is the second mistake that we can make. And as per this, God has to sit in the Vedanta class, not Jivas. So because he is the one who is doing all the papas and punyas. So this is called Jivasya Asamsaritvam. We try to come out with another stupid argument telling that Jiva is asamsari, which is also again incorrect. So we have to be very careful when we make this statement, Nimitta Matram Bhava, means I am only an instrument, means Shankaracharya has analyzed in these different ways, 6 different ways. The second way, he says that this is also another stupidity in terms of argument. So this also has to be dropped off. The third one, he says that God does everything and nothing is in our hands. God is responsible for all the problems and suffering faced by humanity. So God cannot be compassionate. He is not a Karuna Murti at all. So God should be a sadist. He should be a cruel person. So if God is omniscient and omnipresent, why he cannot end all the sufferings of people? We go to the hospital, we find people suffering. So we say that why he is not doing all these things? Then if God is omniscient, why is he keeping quiet? Is he a sadist or a cruel person? So we say Bhagavan is Nairginyam, which means that Grinya means compassion. Bhagavan is lacking in compassion. That is the kind of understanding that somebody may arrive at, which is also again another absurd way of understanding this particular thing. So this is also not possible. The next one is that disparities between people. You got rich people, poor people, you got haves and have-nots, healthy and sick, sukhis, dukhis. You can go on and on. Somebody goes by Benz car, somebody is not able to walk and struggling. Somebody is blind, somebody is very happily watching a beautiful movie and watching the nature. So it is all there. If you look at disparities are there in between people. So we can we say that Bhagavan is partial? So this is another kind of conclusion, absurd conclusion that people can arrive. Bhagavan is partial. Okay. The next one is that rules and regulations are for karnam or for karta. If you look at when you drive a car and go, the rules are for whom? The rules are primarily for the karta and not for the car. Correct. If the instruments are, we are all now instruments, right? If you do say that Bhagavan says that, what is that? Nimitta matram bhava. If we are only instruments, then we are not bound by rules. Then jivas need not follow any dharma shastras. We don't have to read any dharma shastras. If it is only for God to know the shastras and go to Gurukulam and lead a life of inquiry to Brahman, what it is, that whatever he created, he has got to start looking at it and then go in for inquiry. So this is another absurdity that jivas need not read dharma shastras. So dharma shastra vayartham. This is another way of absurd way of conclusion that somebody may have in case they understand nimitta matram bhava as we are only instruments. So Shankaracharya says is another mistake that people can make by not understanding nimitta matram bhava properly. Sixth one is that absence of choice means no free will, right? When you have no choice, then no free will. If there is only one way of doing things, then there's no choice. So jivas, when you look at all of us, we are being instruments, need not choose an action. Every action is being determined. I don't have to choose anything. I have to just get up in the morning. Something will happen that will take me to the office. Then I'll sit there. Somebody will do some kind of work. Somebody will give some money. And everything will happen by itself, right? So we are only instruments. Something should happen by itself. No, it is not like that. It is not at all possible, because when everything has got to have a free will. When you have no course of action, this is another important thing that Shankaracharya talks about, is that if there is no course of action, if you don't do any action, for any action there will be multiple choices. Supposing if you want to go from Bombay to Pune, you can have a choice of taking a road, you can have a choice of taking the bus, you can have a choice of taking your own car, or you can do some other means of travel. So you have got a choice. When you have a choice, you have got a conflict. So no course of action, no conflict in life, which is not possible. So what is that? He is telling that no conflict is one of the absurdities, because life, we have to face conflict day in and day out. If you have no choice, that means no conflict. When no conflict means our life is absolutely free of any kind of free will, and then everything goes on by itself. We have nothing to make as a choice, and then when there's no choice, no conflict. Everything is going to be very smooth. So, but the fact of life is that we face conflicts day in and day out. Even when I want to know which road I have to take, what kind of food I need to order in a hotel, everything we need to make a choice. Which is the study that I need to undertake, what kind of job I have to take, where do I invest the money. So every one of this we make choices. So when you make choices, you have conflicts. So you have to have a free will in terms of making choices, and then only you will be able to manage the conflict that arises in our day-to-day life. So free will, choice, and conflict, all these things coexist for human beings. Animals do not have these kinds of things. Only for human beings, we have got a free will, we have got a choice, and we also have to overcome conflict at every possible situation. So this is all very, very important to understand. So if you look at all these six things, six things can be misunderstood if somebody start looking at nimitta matram bhava as only we are instruments. Everything is done by God. Okay. So if you look at our shastras, fatalism is not accepted. Fatalism means everything is happening by itself and I have got no control over things. That is what is called fatalism. It's all I am inevitable. Everything, things happen inevitably and I have got no role to play in anything. So our shastras do not accept fatalism. Our shastras do not accept that you have to just keep quiet, everything will happen by itself. That is not accepted by our shastras. And then shastras lay a lot of emphasis in terms of free will. So Shankaracharya repeatedly, he is telling in his commentary that we have to dismiss this topic of fatalism, and then assuming that everything will happen by its own self by God's order. No, it will happen, but we have to ensure that we are not going to be always fatalistic in our attitude in thinking that I have nothing to do, everything is going to happen, everything is predetermined, everything will go on like that. So rejection of free will and saying everything is God's will lead to problems. We have to appreciate and understand that all of us as human beings have got free will, and we cannot say that everything is God's will, and then rejecting free will is absurdity, which is very, very important. And Shankaracharya says everybody should be very, very clear that everything you cannot dump as God's will. You have got lots of free will also. But there has to be a different way of looking at what is God's will. Okay. Now, what are all the things that influences our life? If you look at that way, fate, we say fate is something that influences our life. That's true. The result of past actions, which is all because of our fate, is also a part of past actions. Karma balam is whatever has not fructified earlier will fructify in this janma or in future janma also. That also can influence our life. Destiny and fate are same. Some people say destiny is the one that influences the life. Then they say prarabdha is another term that we use. That prarabdha influences the life. Prarabdha influences what I am facing in my life today. Though I am not supposed to face these things because I am the topper in the university, but I am getting a job which is not of a good one that somebody else has got. All these things we all keep on, every time we have situations, we compare ourselves and we feel that we are not the one that has been, who has been taken care of very well by God. So we say prarabdham. Then we say Deva Sankalpam is like that. So what do I do? Then horoscope and planetary influences. That's also we say. Because the horoscope, all these things are there, that is what has happened. So one has to understand that horoscope and planetary interferences are all indicators. If you look at a horoscope and say this is the way it is, that will have a small indication in terms of how your prarabdham is going to take your life to. And it is something like a fuel gauge that you have with your car. The fuel gauge will indicate to you what is the amount of fuel that you have, how much you do, what kinds of planning that you need to do so that you will not be running dry out of fuel. Horoscopes and planetary things that we have as per Jyotish science in Indian culture is all indicators. Indicators are telling you that this is what is all likely to happen based on your prarabdha. So prarabdham is an influencer of our life, no doubt about it. But prarabdham plus free will only will influence our life. So we cannot say that prarabdham is only moving my life. Prarabdham and free will. Free will is what you are supposed to do, is the free will. Bhagavan has given that additional faculty with us, which is free will, which we need to use. And then with that only, what we do is going to influence our life. So why did Krishna say, Nimitta matram bhava, be only an instrument in my hand? So for a human being, becoming an instrument in the hands of God means following dharmic course of actions using free will. Supposing each one of us have got some responsibility as different kinds of profiles that we have. We may be a parent in some place, we may be an employer, we may be a boss, we may be a citizen, we may be having multiple facets or multiple ways by which we are interacting in the society, and we have got a responsibility to act in the society appropriately in a dharmic manner. So following dharmic course of action using free will is very, very important. Okay. So the second thing is not at all governing our decisions by ragas and dveshas. So if we are able to ensure that we will be following dharma shastras and dharmic course of actions, and then not govern any of our decisions by raga dveshas, and then align the free will with dharma shastras, and then the life is also governed by dharma shastras, then we have no conflicts in life, we have ease of decision making. And as per Dharma Shastra, now Bhagavan wants Arjuna to fight the war. He told him in the second chapter itself, Arjuna, you have to fight. Okay, he said, Katam Nyeyam Asmabihi, something he was telling, I don't remember the Shloka, second chapter itself, he said, why should I fight? But Bhagavan said that it is your responsibility to fight. Your dharma calls for fighting it. You being a Raja, you have to fight. If you fight, you will get punya. If you don't fight, you will get papa. So, as per Dharma Shastra, as per Dharma that he has got to follow as a Kshatriya, Arjuna has to fight. So, Bhagavan has been now giving all these explanations to Arjuna right from the second chapter up to now. And then still if Bhagavad is not able to understand Nimitta Matram Bhava, and then Arjuna feels, okay, everything has been done by you, I'll take a relaxed, laid back attitude. No, he is supposed to act as per what is expected of him as a Kshatriya in the war for holding on Dharma. But Bhagavan will ensure that when you and I do our job, what is expected out of us as per Dharmic method, Bhagavan will ensure that the results are going to fall in place and will lead us to the right kind of results. That is what we have to understand. And another important thing that we need to also understand is that in life we'll have successes. Successes, we should not become very proud about ourselves. Successes, we have used our free will, we have made the right choices, we have made things in the right manner, and then we are leading into the particular situation and then tackling the situation, and there was a divine will and prarabdham, all those things mature, and then you are able to get the result. You have to understand that the result is just not going to be just because you have done the action, but there has got to be a divine dispensation. Once we all understand that divine dispensation is going to be there, then our ego gets immediately corrected. Otherwise, we feel that I have done this, I have done this, I have got this, I made this wealth. No, we have to understand that it was all a divine dispensation, and you had followed certain kinds of things, and you were able to achieve this because God has made everything ready to be handed over to you. Like the way Arjuna has now been made to win the war by God due to the reason of establishing Dharma, and also the prarabdhas of Bhishma, Drona, Karna, everybody coming to fructification that they need to have an appointment with death. All these things are happening by the divine dispensation, and so Arjuna will win the war, and so Arjuna will be able to enjoy the Rajyam, and so he'll be able to become the Raja. So it is that's what he says. Even Ritetvam, Rite, even without your presence, I'll be able to win the war. That's what he said. But at the end of the day, we all have to understand that everything has got a choice, everything has got a free will, and everything needs to be done by Dharma. And then Karma Yoga is a very, very important aspect that we need to understand, that we cannot shun Karma Yoga. We have to follow, or we have to make Karma Yoga as a part of our life, and then do what is expected of us at any specific situation. And Karma Palakata is Ishvara, and he knows what is to be given to each one of us at any point in time. Even when it is suffering, when we are going to be praying to Bhagavan and doing the right kinds of things, he knows how he will be able to reduce the suffering. It is not that prarabdha we can escape. Like some of us, we have discussed, Ramana Maharshi also had to face some health issues. That was prarabdha. But there will be a kind of divine blessing which will make the person having inner strength to overcome that kind of a challenge that they may come up in life. So we need to understand that, and as per that, Arjuna has to fight the war. So now to conclude, never accept that everything is decided. I have nothing to do. Okay, fatalism. Nimitta Bhatram, I'm only an instrument. It's all I am the puppet in the hands of God. Do not ever have that kind of an understanding. Accept fate, accept free will, and understand that the future will be determined by both of them. You cannot simply say it's all fate. Fate is there, but free will also is there, which we have to understand. Then by prayer, influence the fate, and by planning, contribute to the free will, and try to see how you will make the right kind of decision in line with the dharma. So that is what is the understanding that we need to have as far as nimitta vatram bhava. Okay, so I thought I'll take the advantage of explaining this to all of you. In case it was slightly overdosed, please excuse me, but it will give a kind of understanding that we cannot take everything and say it's all Bhagavan. Bhagavan is I am only a puppet in the hands of God. No, we as a human being, we have got free will. We have to exercise the free will. We have to follow dharmic principles, and we have to act at the right time, at the appropriate manner, what is expected out of us in the society, in the family, in the as a human being. That is what is the most important teaching that we need to understand at this point in time. So we'll now get back to our shloka. Is it visible now?
Yes, Mahodaya.
Okay.
Bhanureka Bhagini.
नमस्ते महोदय।
Sanjaya Uvacha.
सञ्जय उवाच सञ्जय उवाच
एतश्रुत्वा वचनं केशवस्य
एतं श्रुत्वा वचनं केशवस्य एतं श्रुत्वा वचनं केशवस्य
not एतश्रुत्वा
एतश्
yeah each
एतश्रुत्वा वचनं केशवस्य एतश्रुत्वा वचनं केशवस्य
कृताञ्जलिर्वेपमानः किरीटी
कृताञ्जलिर्वेपमानः किरीटी कृताञ्जलिर्वेपमानः किरीटी
एतश्रुत्वा वचनं केशवस्य कृताञ्जलिर्वेपमानः किरीटी
एतच्छ्रुत्वा वचनं केशवस्य कृताञ्जलिर्वेपमानः किरीटी एतच्छ्रुत्वा वचनं केशवस्य कृताञ्जलिर्वेपमानः किरीटी।
Sheila Shinde Bhagini.
नमस्कृत्वा भूय एवाह कृष्णं
नमस्कृत्वा भूय एवाह कृष्णम् नमस्कृत्वा भूय एवाह कृष्णम्
सगद्गतं भीतः प्रणम्य
सगद्गदं भीत प्रणम्य सगद्गदं भीत प्रणम्य
नमस्कृत्वा भूय एवाह कृष्णं सगद्गतं भीतः प्रणम्य
नमस्कृत्वा भूय एव कृष्णं सगद्गदं भीत प्रणम्य नमस्कृत्वा भूय एवाह कृष्णं सगद्गदं भीत प्रणम्य।
Good.
Rajalakshmi Bhagini.
एतश्रुत्वा वचनं केशवस्य कृताञ्जलिर्वेपमानः किरीटी
एतच्छ्रुत्वा वचनं केशवस्य कृताञ्जलिवेपमानः किरीटी एतच्छ्रुत्वा वचनं केशवस्य कृताञ्जलिर्वेपमानः किरीटी।
Next. Next. Kanchana Behini.
Shanti Badri Bhagini.
Yes, sir.
नमस्कृत्वा भूय एवाह कृष्णं सगद्गतं भीतः प्रणम्य
नमस्कृत्वा भूय एवाह कृष्णं सगद्गदं भीतः प्रणम्य नमस्कृत्वा भूय एवाह कृष्णं सगद्गदं भीतः प्रणम्य।
Good. Next.
Gurumurthy Mahodaya.
Sanjaya उवाच एतश्रुत्वा वचनं केशवस्य कृताञ्जलिर्वेपमानः किरीटी नमस्कृत्वा भूय एवाह कृष्णं सगद्गतं भीतः प्रणम्य
संजय उवाच एतच्चुत्वा वचनं केशवस्य कृताञ्जलिर्वेपमानः किरीटी नमस्कृत्वा भूय एवाह कृष्णं सगद्गदं प्रणम्य।
Good. Next.
Lakshmi Devi Bhagini.
Full shloka once.
Yes, sir. Sanjaya Uvacha
एतच्छ्रुत्वा वचनं केशवस्य कृताञ्जलिर्वेपमानः किरीटी नमस्कृत्वा भूय एवाह कृष्णं सगद्गदं भीतः प्रणम्य.
Good. Next.
Veena Fani Shri Bhagini.
Full shloka.
नमस्ते महोदय.
Namaste.
सञ्जय उवाच एतश्चुत्वा वचनं केशवस्य कृताञ्जलिर्वेपमानः किरीटी नमस्कृत्वा भूय एवाह कृष्णं सगद्गदं भीतः प्रणम्य.
Good. Next.
Vijaya Lakshmi Bhagini.
Full shloka.
Sanjay uvacha एतश्चुत्वा वचनं केशवस्य कृताञ्जलिर्वेपमानः किरीटी नमस्कृत्वा भूय एवाह कृष्णं सगद्गदं भीतः प्रणम्य.
Good. Next.
Kashmira Bhagini.
सञ्जय उवाच एतच्छ्रुत्वा वचनं केशवस्य कृताञ्जलिर्वेपमानः किरीटी नमस्कृत्वा भूय एवाह कृष्णं सगद्गदं भीतः प्रणम्य.
Good. Next, one more person.
Sri Lakshmi Bhagini.
Yes, sir. Namaste, sir.
Namaste.
Sanjay uvaच एतच्छ्रुत्वा वचनं केशवस्य कृताञ्जलिर्वेपमानः किरीटी नमस्कृत्वा भूय एवाह कृष्णं सगद्गदं भीतः प्रणम्य.
Okay. Now Sanjaya is narrating everything that is happening in the field, war field, to Dhritarashtra. So he was also explaining about the Vishwarupa Darshanam that was given to Arjuna. Sanjaya was able to see and he was narrating that to Dhritarashtra. Now Sanjaya has been hearing all these things. He was able to hear and know that Nimitta Matram Bhava. Yes, Sanjaya has very clearly understood. Bhagavan has already given him the result. He has already told him, you just be an instrument. I have already killed Bhishma, I have already killed Drona, I have already killed Karna, Jayadrata. Everybody I have taken care of it. Whether you are there or not, this war is going to ensure that they are all going to be killed. You just be an instrument and then try to slay them and get the fame, get the Rajyam, everything is told. So all these things he is telling to Dhritarashtra, and now he is telling to Dhritarashtra, Eta Chutva, after hearing all these things from Lord about Kalosmi and I am going to destroy everybody, all these things after hearing Keshavasya from Keshava, Arjuna, Kiriti in this case is the one with the crown, that is Arjuna, Kritanjalihi. He is telling that after hearing all these things, Arjuna has now gone to worship Bhagavan. He is putting his hands together, Kritanjalihi, Vepamana. He was trembling a lot, because he has seen the Ugra Rupam, Bhavan Ugra Rupa. He was asking him, after seeing all these things, he was having a tremendous amount of tremble. And this guy, who our Sanjaya is telling to Dhritarashtra, that after hearing all these things and after seeing the Uksharupam, he is trembling. And then he also, Namaskritva, he continues to salute him. Bhuya, again and again he is saluting him. Sagadgadam Bita, with trembling voice, with tremendous amount of fear, Pranamya, again saluting him. He is telling this. What is he telling that? He is going to tell it in the next sloka. But now what is to be importantly understood here is that Sanjaya at this point in time has understood the result of the war. He knows that everybody is going to be destroyed. So the people because of whom Duryodhana had the confidence that he can win the war, like Bhishma, Drona, Jayadratha, Karna, all these people, Krishna has told they have been already destroyed. So Sanjaya knows the end of the war is coming and the Kauravas are going, and that is what he is telling to Dhritarashtra. But look at this destiny or fate or prarabdha of Dhritarashtra. When he is telling that, though it is not mentioned in the sloka, Dhritarashtra was not able to understand this. He is not able to understand that everything is coming to an end for my own children. Kauravas are going to get destroyed. If he had understood what Sanjaya is telling now, Dhritarashtra would have immediately gone and then told everybody stop the war and let us all live in peace. We'll give everything to Pandavas. But what Shankaracharya has told in his commentary is that it unfortunately, or it has been designed, dispensation of Bhagavan, that sometimes when you're sitting in a conference or some meeting, important points will slip our mind. It will just sleep at that particular point in time. Similarly, here also, perhaps Dhritarashtra was not able to know what is the message Krishna has given as a Bhagavan that has been missed by Dhritarashtra. Otherwise, Dhritarashtra had an opportunity now, if he had understood what Sanjaya is telling, to go and stop the war and tell that we are stopping the war. I am taking the power on my hands. I am telling the Duryodhana to withdraw, Bhishma to withdraw, everybody please come, because he had that authority, he had that kind of respect also. But unfortunately, that is what is called the fate. This particular Dharma Yuddha was to end. Bhagavan is decided that this adharma has to be put to yes. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. He wanted to put an end to it. So Dhritarashtra was not able to hear. That's what is the commentary that we saw. So these things are being told by Sanjaya to Dhritarashtra, that Arjuna is continuously saluting and prostrating in front of him with a trembling body. Next.
Lalita Bhagini.
Arjuna Uvacha Sthane Rishikesha Tava Prakitya.
Arjuna Uvacha Sthane Hrishikesha Tava Prakitya. Sthane Hrishikesha Tava Prakitya.
Jagat Prahrusyat Yanurajyate Cha.
Jagat Prahrushyatyanurajyate Cha. Jagat Prahrushyatyanurajyate Cha.
Sthane Rishikesha Tava Prakitya. Jagat Prahrusyat Yanurajyate Cha.
Sthane Hrishikesha Tava Prakitya. Jagat Prahrushyatyanurajyate Cha. Sthane Hrishikesha Tava Prakitya. Jagat Prahrushyatyanurajyate Cha.
Good. Next.
Sharat Chavan Mahodaya.
Rakshamsi Bhitani Disho Dravanti.
Sharat Chavan Mahodaya.
नमस्ते सर।
Namaste.
रक्षासि भीतानि दिशो द्रवन्ति। रक्षासि भीतानि दिशो द्रवन्ति।
सर्वे नमस्यन्ति च सिद्धसङ्गाः।
सर्वे नमस्यन्ति च सिद्धसङ्गाः। रक्षासि भीतानि दिशो द्रवन्ति। सर्वे नमस्यन्ति च सिद्धसङ्गाः।
Good. Next.
Bhanureka Bhagini.
Sthane Rishikesh Tava Prakirtya Jagat Prahrusyat Yanurajyate Cha.
Arjuna Uvacha Sthane Hrishikesh Tava Prakirtya Jagat Prahrishyat Yanurajyate Cha. Sthane Hrishikesh Tava Prakirtya Jagat Prahrishyat Yanurajyate Cha.
Good. Next.
Srimati Bhagini.
Rakshamsi Bhitani Disho Dravanti Sarve Namasyanti Cha Siddhasangaha.
रक्षांसि भीतानि दिशो द्रवन्ति सर्वे नमस्यन्ति च सिद्धसङ्गाः रक्षांसि भीतानि दिशो द्रवन्ति सर्वे नमस्यन्ति च सिद्धसङ्गाः.
Good. Next.
Sharada Rajan Bhagini.
Arjuna Uvacha Sthane Hrishikesha Tava Prakirtya Jagat Prahrusyat Yanurajyate Cha. रक्षांसि भीतानि दिशो द्रवन्ति सर्वे नमस्यन्ति च सिद्धसङ्गाः
अर्जुन उवाच स्थाने ऋषिकेश तव प्रकीर्त्या जगत्प्रहृष्यत्यनुरज्यते च रक्षांसि भीतानि दिशो द्रवन्ति सर्वे नमस्यन्ति च सिद्धसङ्घाः.
Good. Next.
Shanti Badri Bhagini.
Full shloka once slowly.
Okay, sir. Arjuna uvacha स्थाने ऋषिकेश तव प्रकीर्त्या जगत् प्रहृष्यत्यनुरज्यते च रक्षांसि भीतानि दिशो द्रवन्ति सर्वे नमस्यन्ति च सिद्धसङ्गाः.
Good. Next.
Rajeshwari Shivashankar Bhagini.
अर्जुन उवाच स्थानेन हृषीकेश तव प्रकीर्त्या जगत् प्रहृष्यत्यनुरज्यते च रक्षांसि भीतानि दिशो द्रवन्ति सर्वे नमस्यन्ति च सिद्धसङ्घाः.
Good. Okay. Good. Next.
Rajalakshmi Bhagini.
अर्जुन उवाच स्थाने ऋषिकेश तव प्रकीर्त्या
प्रहृष्यत्यनुरज्यते च
जगत्प्रहृष्यत्यनुरज्यते च रक्षांसि भीतानि दिशो द्रवन्ति सर्वे नमस्यन्ति च सिद्धसङ्गाः.
Good. Next.
Gurumurthy Mahodaya.
Yes, sir. Arjuna uvacha स्थाने ऋषिकेश तव प्रकीर्त्या जगत् प्रहृष्यत्य अनुरज्यते च रक्षांसि भीतानि दिशो द्रविन्त सर्वे
द्रवन्ति
दिशो रक्षांसि भीतानि दिशो द्रवन्ति सर्वे नमस्यन्ति च सिद्धसङ्घाः.
Okay, good. Next.
Sheela Shinde Bhagini.
Full shloka.
अर्जुन उवाच स्थाने ऋषिकेश तव प्रकीर्त्या जगत् प्रवृष्यत्यनुरज्यते च रक्षांसि भीतानि दिशो द्रवन्ति सर्वे नमस्यन्ति च सिद्धसङ्घाः.
Good. One more person.
Lakshmi Bibi Bhagini.
अर्जुन उवाच स्थाने ऋषिकेश तव प्रकीर्त्या जगत् प्रहृष्यत्यनुरक्ष्यते च रक्षांसि भीतानि दिशो द्रवन्ति सर्वे नमस्यन्ति च सिद्धसङ्घाः.
प्रहृष्यत्यनुरज्यते. Not rashyate nu sonengo.
Okay.
Anurajyate.
जगत् प्रहृष्यत्यनुरज्यते च.
जगत् प्रहृष्यत्यनुरज्यते च.
जगत् प्रहृष्यत्यनुरज्यते च.
Correct. One more person.
Kashmira Bhagini.
अर्जुन उवाच स्थाने ऋषिकेश तव प्रकीर्त्या जगत् प्रहृष्यत्यनुरज्यते च रक्षांसि भीतानि दिशो द्रवन्ति सर्वे नमस्यन्ति च सिद्धसङ्घाः.
Good. So now Arjuna is now coming back. He is now talking to. He has seen everything of Vishwarupa Darshanam of Bhagavan. Now he says that Rishikesha, O Bhagavan, Lord Krishna, Tava Prakitya. That is, that is your Prakitya means Kirtayanti. Kirtayanti means singing the praises. So who sings the praises? Jagat. Jagat means all the people in the world. Rahushyati Prakirtya Anurajyate. They are able to sing your praises, they are able to rejoice, and they are able to devote it to you. It is all proper. It is very much proper. Sthane in this case is, it is very proper. Now what he says is that he has seen in the world, everybody starts rejoicing. If you look at the Vrindavan, all the gopis are all rejoicing with Bhagavan, okay, singing his praises. And then many of them are devoted to him. So he says that it is proper, Sthane, Rishikesh, it is proper Rishikesha, Krishna, that the whole world is rejoicing with you. The whole world is devoted to you. The whole world is singing your praises. So he says that it is appropriate for everybody to be like that, because we can be the only person whose prices are beyond comparison is your prices. So we are singing your prices, we are devoted to you, and we are also rejoicing in understanding and knowing you. And here, when you come to praises, no, there are a lot of times we may have some people who are praised. Okay, the praise is generally flattery, because many a time you will realize that what the person deserves to what the person is talked about in a public forum, a person will not deserve even 10% of what is being praised on him. Okay, but still they flatter people for the sake of for their own personal benefits. So flattery means praising beyond what actually a person deserves to be praised. But in the case of Bhagavan, it is impossible. Whatever way you praise, Bhagavan is still beyond that. That one has to understand. So when you are going to praise or sing and rejoice, it is Bhagavan is something beyond. Even with whatever little bit you are doing all these things, and your prices are all far, far, far less than what actually he is. So that is the difference between flattery and what is the glory of Bhagavan. Then Sarve Namasyanti, last line, everybody is doing Namaskaram. Who all Siddha Sanghas, all the Siddhas, all the people who are all saintly people, they all worship him. So all these people who are exalted people like Siddhas, etc., they worship him. The entire world rejoices with him. The entire world is devoted to him. The entire world is singing his songs. And then comes the third line, Rakshamsi Bhitani Dishodravanti. Rakshamsi is Rakshasas. All these Rakshasas, on hearing your name, Bhitani, out of fear, and they Dishodravanti, they run in all directions. That means that Bhagavan is a protector for the good, and people who are not doing the right things like Rakshasas, they run away in the presence of Bhagavan. Rakshamsi Bhitani, Dishodravanti, they start running in all directions. Whereas rest of the people, they rejoice, they pray you, they sing your praises, and then they do namaskarams. Everybody does all those things, and all these things are proper sthane. It is all proper that they do to you, because you are a glorious person. You are the Bhagavan, Jagat Prabhu. Next.
Bhanureka Bhagini.
Kaspachatena nameran mahatman.
कस्माच्च तेन न मेरन्महात्मन् कस्माच्च तेन न मेरन्महात्मन्
गरीयसे ब्रह्मणोऽप्यादिकर्त्रे
गरीयसे ब्रह्मणोऽप्यादिकर्त्रे गरीयसे ब्रह्मणोऽप्यादिकर्त्रे
कस्माच्च तेन न मेरन्महात्मन् गरीयसे ब्रह्मणोऽप्यादिकर्त्रे
कस्माच्च तेन न मेरन्महात्मन् गरीयसे ब्रह्मणोऽप्यादिकर्त्रे कस्माच्च तेन न मेरन्महात्मन् गरीयसे ब्रह्मणोऽप्यादिकर्त्रे.
Good. Next.
Veena Phanishri Bhagini.
Ananta Devesha Jagannivasa.
अनन्तदेवेश जगन्निवास अनन्तदेवेश जगन्निवास
त्वमक्षरं सदसत्तत्परं यत्
त्वमक्षरं सदसत्परं यत् त्वमक्षरं सदसत्परं यत्
This Sat asat sadasat sadasat tat param yat. Swamaksharam sadasat tat param yat.
Sadasat sadasat tatparayat.
Correct. Swamaksharam sadasat tat parayat.
Tvamaksharam sadasat tatparayat. Tvamaksharam sadasat tatparayat.
Good.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Krishna Pavani Bhagini.
Tasmajatena nameran mahatman gariyase brahmanopyadi kartre ananta devesha jagannivasa tvamaksharam sadasattat parayat.
कस्माच्च तेन न मेरन्महात्मन् गरीयसे ब्रह्मणोऽप्यादिकर्त्रे अनन्तदेवेश जगन्निवास त्वमक्षरं सदसत्तत्परयत्.
Good. Next.
Anupama Bhatt Bhagini.
Full shloka once.
कस्माच्च तेन न मेरन्मात्मन् गरीयसे ब्रह्मणोऽप्यादिकर्त्रे अनन्तदेवेश जगन्निवास त्वमक्षरं सदसत्तत्परयत्.
Good. Next.
Vijayalakshmi Bhagini.
Next.
कस्माच्च
Vijay.
तेन न मेरन्महात्मन् गरीयसे ब्रह्मणोऽप्यादिकर्त्रे अनन्तदेवेश जगन्निवास त्वमक्षरं सदसत्तत्परयत्.
Next.
Sharada Rajan Bhagini.
कस्माच्च तेन न मेरन्महात्मन् गरीयसे ब्रह्मणोऽप्यादिकर्त्रे अनन्तदेवेश जगन्निवास त्वमक्षरं सदसत्तत्परयत्.
Good. Next.
Rajalakshmi Bhagini.
कस्माच्च तेन न मेर्महात्मन् गरीयसे ब्रह्मणोऽप्यादिकर्त्रे अनन्तदेवेश जगन्निवास त्वमक्षरं सदसत्तत्परं यत्.
Good. One more person.
Rajeshwari Shivashankar Bhagini.
कस्माच्च तेन न मेरन्महात्मन् गरीयसे ब्रह्मणोऽप्यादिकर्त्रे अनन्तदेवेश जगन्निवास त्वमक्षरं सदसत्तत्परयत्.
Okay. Now he is telling Arjuna from the previous shloka. He is now praising Bhagavan. He says that in this shloka, earlier shloka, he said why everybody is singing your praises, everybody is worshipping you, everybody is devoted to you, Siddha Sanghas are worshipping you, and all the Rakshasas are running away. That's what he praised. He was praising Bhagavan. He is able to understand Bhagavan. He was praising Bhagavan. He is continuing with the praising of Bhagavan. Mahatman, oh the great Lord, Kasmat te na nameran. Why should they not do namaskaram to you? Kasmat. Why they will not do namaskaram to you? Because you are such a divine and such a great person. You are the biggest, you are the Lord. So why they will not do namaskarams to you? Everybody will do namaskaram to you. Gariyase brahmano api adikartre. Adikartre means he is the initial creator. He was a cause for creation and he was not a cause of anything. Right? He is the cause of everything, but he was not caused by anything. So he is the ultimate cause of the entire creation. Gariyase brahmano api. You are greater than the Brahma. We always say Brahma is the creator. He is greater than the Brahma also. And he says that why people will not do namaskaram to you. You are the Adi Karta, you are the one who was the first creator of the entire thing, and you are also far superior than Brahma. Ananta, you are eternal. Okay. Deva Isha, you are the Isha, Lord of Lords, Lord of Gods. Jagandivasa, the entire world is in your house. Nivasam. The world is living in your house. So he is called Jagannivasa. From Aksharam, you are imperishable. Sada, Asat, Sat, Asat, Tat Param Yate. You are beyond everything and you are the truth of everything. Sada, Sat, Tat Param Yate. So he is now praising Bhagavan. Most of these things we have already seen that he is Aksharam, Anantam, Devesham, Jagannivasam. He is beyond Brahma. So he is telling why people will not do namaskarams and salutations to you, why they will not sing praises on you. They will do it because you are Ananta, Devesha, Jagannivasa, Akshara, Sahasatparam, you are beyond everything. That's what he is now praising Bhagavan. Maybe we'll quickly take one more sloka.
Gurumurti Mahodaya.
Svamadideva Purushah Puranah.
त्वमादिदेव पुरुष पुराण है त्वमादिदेव पुरुष पुराण है
Tvamasya Vishvasya Parannidhanam.
तुमस्य विश्वस्य परम निदानम तुमस्य विश्वस्य परम निदानम
Tvamadideva Purushah Puranah. Tvamasya Vishvasya Parannidhanam.
तुमादिदेव पुरुष पुराण है तुमस्य विश्वस्य परम निदानम तुमादिदेव पुरुष पुराण है तुमस्य विश्वस्य परम निदानम.
Good. Next.
Sharat Chavan Mahodaya.
Vettasi Vedyancha Parancha Dhama.
वेत्तासि वेदं च परं च धाम वेत्तासि वेदयं च परं च धाम
त्वया तथो विश्वमनन्तरूप.
त्वया ततं विश्वमनन्तरूप वेत्तासि वेदयं च परं च धाम त्वया ततं विश्वमनन्तरूप.
Okay.
Kashmira Bhagini.
Vettasi Vedyancha Parancha Dhama. Tvaya Tatho Vishwamanantarupa.
वेतासि वेदं च परं च धाम त्वया ततो विश्वमनन्तरूप वेतासि वेदं च परं च धाम त्वया ततो विश्वमनन्तरूप.
Good. Next.
Srimati Bhagini.
Tvamadideva Purushah Puranah. Tvamasya Vishvasya Parannidhanam. Vettasi Vedyancha Parancha Dhama. Tvaya Tato Vishwamanantarupa.
त्वमादिदेवः पुरुषः पुराणः त्वमस्य विश्वस्य परन्निधानम् वेतासि वेदयं च परं च धाम त्वया ततो विश्वमनन्तरूप.
Good. Next.
Krishna Pavani Bhagini.
Full sloka.
त्वमादिदेवः पुरुषः पुराणः त्वमस्य विश्वस्य परन्निधानम् वेत्तासि वेद्यं च परं च धाम त्वया ततो विश्वमनन्तरूप.
Good. Next.
Sri Lakshmi Bhagini.
Yes, sir. Full shloka.
Yeah, full sloka.
त्वमादिदेव पुरुषः पुराणः त्वमस्य विश्वस्य परन्निधानम् वेत्तासि वेदं च परं च धाम
Vettasi Vedyancha Parancha Dhama.
वेत्तासि वेद्यं च परं च धाम त्वया ततन्विश्वमनन्तरूप.
Good. Next.
शीला शिंदे भगिनी.
त्वमादिदेव पुरुषः पुराणः त्वमस्य विश्वस्य परन्निधानम् वेत्तासि वेद्यं च परं च धाम त्वया ततो विश्वमनन्तरूप.
Next.
वीणा फानिश्री भगिनी.
त्वमादिदेवः पुरुषः पुराणः त्वमस्य विश्वस्य परन्निधानम् वेत्तासि वेद्यं च परं च धाम त्वया ततो विश्वमनन्तरूप.
Next. One more person.
शारदा राजन भगिनी.
त्वमादिदेव पुरुषः पुराणः त्वमस्य विश्वस्य परन्निधानम् वेत्तासि वेद्यं च परं च धाम त्वया ततो विश्वमनन्तरूप.
So now what is happening is that slowly Arjuna's realization of Bhagavan is increasing. Okay. So initially he talked about all those things. Now he's telling you are the Adi Deva. You are the primordial, you are the first God, Adi Deva hai. You are a Purusha hai. Purusha means Param Purusha hai. You are Purana hai. Purana hai means ancient. That is nothing before him. Everything came from him. You are the Adi Deva, you are a Purusha, you are a Uttama Purusha, you are a Purana, means you are the most ancient. From Asya Vishwasya Param Nidanam. The entire Vishwa, Asya Vishwasya, Param Nidanam means ultimate dissolution where everything will go is your own place. So, from Asya Vishwasya Param Nidanam, you are the person where the entire universe, entire creation will get dissolved at the time of Pralaya. You are that particular person. Vettasi, that you are the knower, you know everything. Vedhyam. And if at all we need to have knowledge, we have to have knowledge of what? We have to have knowledge of only you. So you are the only to be known. Vettasi, you are the knower. Vedhyam, you are the only thing to be known. And when we say that we know ourselves, then what do we mean by that? We know ourselves means we know Bhagavan. The Atma that once we know ourselves, we know our Atma. That means we know Bhagavan also. So Vettasi Vedyam, you are the knower and you are to be known. Cha Parancha Dhama, you are the ultimate abode for everything. Tvaya Tatam, by you, Vishwam Ananta Rupa Tatam. Vishwam means this universe, Ananta Rupa, with limitless different types of forms, Tatam. It has been pervaded, everything has been pervaded by Bhagavan by multiple different kinds of forms and shapes. Tvaya means by you, Vishwam Ananta Rupa Tatam. It has all been pervaded by multiple different types of forms and shapes. So the entire creation is a pervasive nature of Bhagavan. Bhagavan has pervaded the entire creation. All the forms that you see in the world are Bhagavan. So Vishwam Anantarupam Tvaya Tatam. It is not this. So he is now, Arjuna is now, earlier he thought he was a friend, he was a king, he was a Yadava clan thing, he is the aunt's son, cousin, brother, etc. Now slowly he is understanding that he is Bhagavan, he is Lord. So he is now talking about the other things of worshipping him, like Tvam Adi Devaha, Purushaha, Puranaha, Asya Vishwasya Parannidanam, Vettasi Vedyam, Param Chadama, Tvaya Tadam Vishwam Ananta Rupam. So we'll close with this and we'll continue tomorrow. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.